Hello, Algebra. Let's start Chapter 8, shall we? Today we're going to learn how to add and scalar multiply matrices. But first of all, we need to know what a matrix is. So a matrix is when we add, it's a collection of numbers. A matrix is a collection of numbers, okay? And it's a way to organize data. So let's move on. This matrix has two rows. So rows go across. Okay, these are your rows. More specifically, this is row 1 and this is row 2. And it has 3 columns. So this is column 1, column 2, and column 3. Okay? We talk about one matrix, and you may know about the movie The Matrix. And then when we're talking about more than one, we're talking about matrices. So those are your two terminology words. When we are adding two matrices, we're going to add the numbers in the matching positions. So add the numbers in the matching positions. What do I mean by that? Well, 3 is in the same position as 4. So I'm going to add that together. 3 plus 4 is 7. Okay? And 8 is in the same position as 0. So I'm going to do 8 plus 0, and that's 8. Okay? And 4 is in the same position as 1. So I'm going to do 4 plus 1, which is 5. And 6 is in the same position as negative 9. So I'm going to do 6 plus negative 9, or 6 minus 9, which will give me negative 3. And that's how I add my matrices. Okay? To subtract matrices, I'm going to subtract the numbers in the matching positions. Since I don't really like the word subtract, I'm going to change it to add the opposite. I'm going to add the opposite of the numbers in the matching positions. So what do I mean by that? Well, I've got 3, and I'm going to subtract 4, or I'm going to do 3 plus negative 4. And we just want to do that in our head. 3 plus negative 4 is negative 1. Okay? And then we have 8 and 0. 8 plus 0 is, or 8 plus, there is no such thing as negative 0, so it's still 8 plus 0, which is still 8. Okay? 4 plus negative 1. So we can write that, should have been writing these down. 4 plus negative 1, right? 4 plus negative 1 is 3. If I go back and write 3 plus negative 4, because that's a negative 4. And then my 8 plus 0, because there is no positive or negative. And then I got my last one, which is 6 plus, this is going to turn to a positive 9. And 6 plus 9 is 15. And there we go. That is how we subtract. So we'd like to try and make these into negative numbers instead. So here's how we can do that. Make this a plus sign, and then just change the sign of everything on the inside. But you have to remember to change the sign of these. Most students have had trouble with doing that. So if that's the case, just subtract. 3 minus 4, 8 minus 0, 4 minus 1, 6 minus negative 9, but make sure you change that to plus plus. Okay? So you decide. Either one works. They're both the same thing. And we can go from there. Okay. Multiplying a matrix by a constant is just like distribution. just like distribution. So you can multiply a matrix by a constant, and in this case it's 2. So I am going to draw my matrix, and I'm going to distribute this 2 into here. So 2 times 6 gives me 12. 2 times 2 gives me 4. 2 times 1, and if you haven't noticed, my answers always go from where they start. 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 times -3 is going to give me -6. So it's important that we know where this number came from, being the 2 times 6, the 2 times 2, 2 times 1, 2 times 4. Okay? We call the constant that we're multiplying by, the constant, we call that a scalar. Okay? And scalar multiplication is what this is called because of that. All right, with this process, we are just increasing the number inside by the number outside. We're multiplying it in, okay? In this process, this addition and subtraction, both my matrices need to be the same size. So this is 2 by 2, and this is 2 by 2, so I'm able to add them together. If they're different sizes, if this matrix is a different size than this one, I can't add them together. Okay, that's our notes. I believe, let me just double check. Yep. Oh, some examples. We should do some practice. That's true. Okay, so if I draw my answer, I am going to add some things together. So I'm going to add 1, and what am I going to add to it? -6. Good. So if you want, write that right out here. 1 plus -6 is -5. If you want to change colors so that you know what you're using, go for it. Okay? 2.1 plus 7 is going to be 9.1. Good idea to write this part. Not necessary, but it's a good idea. And then I've got -8 plus 2 will give me -6. So -8 plus 2. Okay? All right, if I was going to scale this up, my matrix is going to be 3 rows by 2 columns, and I'm just going to distribute things in. So 5 times -2 is -10, 50, and 20. 5 times 8 is 40. Notice they're showing up in the same spot that they started. 5 times 7 is 35. Awesome. So please don't make either of these hard. We will go through number 3 during class, and if you could try number 4, that would be great. That's it. God bless.